First thing I suggest is stop by City Kia. Let us do an MPI, a multiple point inspection on your vehicle. We do a very strong safety check. We do a walk around on your vehicle. We check for everything, check your fluids. What do you need to check quickly? A checklist. First, brakes, battery, tires, and wipers. Those four things need to be either replaced or I don't expect you to replace your battery every rainy season, but your wipers should. Make sure your tires are up to snuff. Rotate them at that moment if you had to. Put your better tires on the front. If you can't replace your tires, you know the best tire, the best tread you have to have is on the front right now. In that type of thing. And the City Kia, every day we have a tire sale. Every day of the year we have a tire sale.
Whoa, make that switch.
Welcome back to the City Kia show, and we're live in the showroom. As you can see, people running all over around. I'm Raul.
And I'm Trenny.
And we're here to spend a little time with you and pick up where we left off last week, right?
Exactly.
So what do you got for me today, Trenny?
So today, just putting Raul on the spot and just gonna drill some questions.
Okay.
As we're coming into rainy season.
Yeah, we're here.
We're in rainy season.
Yep.
And so I'm gonna go through a few questions that people have asked me and just hit you with them. But overall, what are some of the risks of driving in the rain? And then I'm going to drill down on some questions, but just generally, what are some risks?
The risk is standing water is usually the higher risk. Slippery surfaces, standing water. You have all the, when the rain first starts, let's say you go to, wherever you live, here in Orlando, anywhere you live, let's say that you haven't had rain in your community for 3 or 4 weeks, or a week. It's been very dry and hot. Well, the first rain that comes from the sky, that little bit of rain, when it starts to drizzle,
like the mist,
that little bit of rain. No, as soon as it hits the ground, when it starts drizzling, before it gets intense, is very dangerous because it's lifting all the oil on the road up.
Oh my gosh!
So if there's all the oil that falls out of cars and trucks all day, when the water hits it, the oil is lighter than water, so the oil goes to the top, the water gets underneath, and that causes slippery environment.
Is that everywhere, or is that just in Florida?
Anywhere.
Is that the heat?
Anywhere.
Okay.
Anywhere.
So it doesn't matter if it's cold or hot?
No, because if it's cold, it'd be ice. But that's a whole different problem. We'll talk about that later. Like in the Carolinas, it happens a lot. And in the Northeast, is black ice. But in Florida, you got to, and then the other thing is you're standing water and you're moving water. There's so many threads, and you can't control the vehicle.
I'm going to have a question about that, actually.
Okay.
That's another question that I'm going to have.
Sure.
So just segueing into the heavy rain, and you started about the mist, and then let's say when it becomes heavy rain,
torrential rain,
right? Yeah. What are some of the things that you should do to prepare
for the rainy season?
For the rainy season.
All right. The first thing I suggest is stop by City Kia. Let us do an MPI, a multiple point inspection on your vehicle. We do a very strong safety check. We do a walk around on your vehicle. We check for everything, check your fluids. What do you need to check quickly? A checklist. First, brakes, battery, tires, and wipers. Those four things need to be either replaced or I don't expect you to replace your battery every rainy season, but your wipers should. Make sure your tires are up to snuff. Rotate them at that moment if you had to. Put your better tires on the front. If you can't replace your tires, you know the best tire, the best tread you have to have is on the front right now. In that type of thing. And the City Kia, every day we have a tire sale. Every day of the year we have a tire sale. So that helps you with that. But we make sure that you are prepared for that.
Right.
But don't take it for granted. Don't wait till you're too deep into the season till an accident happens. You want your brakes to respond. You want your tires to grab, and you want your wipers to work efficiently. If you have those things working, you're going to be okay.
And as a consumer, and slowing it down a little as a consumer, I understand why you would want your tires because of the tread, and if they're too small or too thin.
Yeah, your stopping distance is increased, and it's going to get increased even more with water.
You can hydroplane, and then I'll have another question about that.
I'll talk about hydroplaning in a little bit.
Perfect. And then the windshield wipers, obviously visibility.
Absolutely.
We all know that when we're coming out of the summer and we have
if you replace the wipers last season, they helped you through the season, and then all the winter months, and then the beginning of summer. So you've gotten your use out of the wipers. They're not that expensive. I say change your wipers at least once a year and do it right before the rainy season.
Okay. Tell me about the battery. What's the significance of
Well, you always want to change your battery because worst thing you can happen is you go through a puddle or you can't start the car in a rainstorm. It just gives you added issues.
Okay, then that's what we're.
I always recommend that battery. We check the battery if you come to City Kia 5 times for recalls or for maintenance service, we will check your battery every single time and give you a battery condition report every visit at City Kia.
Well, speaking of coming to City Kia, one of the things that I had noted, somebody was talking about an emergency kit. I overheard somebody talking about, things that they should keep in their car, and one of your advisors had suggested that they keep an emergency kit on here.
Well, we started with some of our models, our SUV models, we started including safety kits. Emergency kits, safety kits with our purchase with every vehicle.
Right.
So we're starting to stock the cars with all the cars with safety kits now.
Okay, cool. And then back to the hydroplaning.
Let's talk about that. So your question should be, Trenny, what happens when you hit standing? What can happen when you go through a puddle and you don't know how deep it is? So I'll answer. So what you need to concentrate on is you really don't know how that deep that puddle is. You get guesstimate is the best, right? So if you see if you see someone in front of you stop in the middle of a puddle and they get out, or the flash are on, don't try to be a hero and go around them, because it could be deeper when you go around them and then you're going to get stuck. Find a different way, alternative route. Figure it out with GPS, or your neighborhood. Find another way. Do not cross that. That's in the daytime. At night's even scarier, because at night sometimes we don't see the puddles, so especially on a curve. So what I suggest, if you typically drive on a road at 40 miles an hour on this same road every day,
right,
and it's raining, cut your speed in half, at least in half. So instead of being 40, you're going 20 miles an hour. Gives you time. If your tires are good and your brakes are good, it'll give you time to be able to react somewhat or perfectly when you're encountering a puddle or a large standing water body at night.
Okay, so speaking of
going through it.
Yep, going through it. In that case, and that reminds me of when we came into a neighborhood, and it looked like it was going to be a puddle, but we didn't have any idea how deep it would go. And unfortunately for the car in front of us, fortunately for me, we saw that car go down, and it went up into the underbelly of the car, and we were so grateful. So that when we're going in neighborhoods, or we're going into
our producers got something for us.
Yeah. Hi. When we're going to go on the highway, and when we're having some visibility issues and need to slow the brakes down, do you just slam on your brakes? I know we all know that, but
let's go back. Let me take that. It's a compound question.
Yeah.
So let me go back. All right. So when you go through a standing puddle of water or a moving puddle of water, which is even more dangerous, and what happens is and you hit it at a certain speed, the faster you're going, the more air is going underneath your car. Here's the problem. What causes a hydroplane? You're moving at a velocity, let's say a constant velocity of 55 miles an hour, 65 miles an hour. You encounter a body of standing water. It may be only 3 inches. It doesn't have to be that much. It could only be that much water. It doesn't have to be a deep puddle. This is what happens. The air creates a layer between the water, then there's air, and then there's your car. So now you have, instead of your car on the road, you have your car on water, and the air is coming in between. That causes a thing we call hydroplaning. So you lose control of the vehicle. When you hit that body of water, the standing body of the puddle, the standing body of water, when you hit it, what happens is your car starts, the air pushes up, and you are no longer in control of your car. The car can go sideways. It can go north with going backwards. Serious things happen. And anybody like myself that grew up driving in the snow, we know that when you're in that situation, you have to use your steering wheel. You point your steering wheel where you want to go. The car may be going that way, but you want to go that way. You point your wheel, just like when you're steering corner, and you got to counter. As soon as it straightens out, you got to counter to straighten out your back end. Otherwise, you continue going sideways. When you're in full hydroplane, you are not in control of the car. It's almost like an act of God. You are not in control until the car slows down or runs out of water. So during those crazy 3 seconds, 2 seconds, you're not in control. So try to avoid it at best. That's what you need to do.
The best thing is try to avoid it.
Correct.
But the one takeaway, if Raul Gomila is driving his car
Yep.
and he starts to hydroplane, what's the one thing?
You don't ever slam on the brakes, you paddle your brakes. So what I mean by that, that's another thing I'll get back to when you asked me earlier. So at that point, once you're in it, if you slam your brakes, you're going to go into a fishtail and start doing circles, and that's going to be really bad. You can't do that. So what you got to do is you can do a couple of things. You can lower your velocity by downshifting your transmission from drive to 2 to 1. Let the transmission slow down the car while you're tapping the brakes. The other thing is when driving in the rain all the time, whether it's a light sunny rain or it's a rainstorm, whenever you're driving in the rain, even though you have a clear road ahead of you, there's no green lights, no red lights, you constantly tap the brakes because you want to keep your brake, because if you've got a slam on your brakes and they're wet, it's going to take time for them to dry and then catch. So you constantly drive, tapping your brakes and keeping them dry. That's imperative, and that's a very tactical thing that everybody needs to learn. In driving in rain, tap your brakes. Tap, 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 tap.
Okay, now the rainstorm is over.
Okay.
We're all safe. Everything's good. We're right as rain, as they say.
Right?
Haha. What do we
Right
do?
as rain.
Right as rain. Get it? I got a tough audience here. So, what would you recommend if now your car has gotten all this water and you're concerned about what's happened? Should you bring it to City Kia to get it checked?
Where's the water? Inside the car?
It's all splashed out. Hydroplaned.
No.
All. Does it get into your car, or do you only need it inspected if it's flooded?
Only if it's flooded. If it's a typical thing, it's because you lost control. It's because you're driving, and the road, not the car.
Okay.
If your tires were good, everything was good in your car, you lost control because you weren't paying attention. You were driving too fast. You hit a standing water puddle at the high velocity. So these are things that we have control over, right, Trini?
Right.
So these are the things, ladies and gentlemen, that you have to do better. You have to do better.
Just stay vigilant. Yep.
Stay vigilant,
awesome.
like Trini just said.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think that answers all of the questions that I have.
What else you got for me?
That's all of the questions that I have here. I'm thinking that it's a good time now, maybe if we move on to some games, some fun and games.
All right, here we go.
The comedy, the comedy act is over.
Listen to that, guys, ladies and gentlemen, listen to that crowd roaring. It's showtime. All right, so who goes first? Miss Production Lady, Janica, who goes first? Ladies. So go first means I hold mine up first. No, you gotta guess first.
I guess first. Okay.
No, yeah, so go ahead.
Okay.
What did I say you just had to do when you're driving in the rain? It's a habit that everybody should do. They should do what to the brakes?
Pump the brakes.
Bingo.
Wow.
One for Trini. All right, ready? I always do these upside down for some reason. Is it upside down?
It's upside down.
Always. All right,
Well,
here it is. Here.
What was the topic that we were just discussing?
Rain.
When the car.
Storms.
When the cars.
Hydroplaning.
Yep.
All right, 1-1. We're tied, guys.
Okay.
We're tied. Who are you voting for? Who's got to win this? The beautiful lady or the man with the rough voice? Which one? All right, let's go. You're leaving your house in the morning, and you look out, and you think there may be what? So you're taking an umbrella.
Rain.
Okay, it's also called what kind of?
Thunderstorm.
No, if I ask you what is it like outside?
Weather forecast?
What is, okay, grab that one word. Grab that one word. It's what kind of weather?
Bad weather.
Bingo. I helped her, but it's all right. I go?
Yeah. Okay.
Upside down again?
It's all right.
Is it?
I can read upside
Yeah, but
down.
they
Okay.
All
Oh
right,
yeah,
guys.
they can read upside down
This is a
too.
production. The producers do this to me
Right.
on purpose.
It's
week.
it's something you want to put batteries in these
Jumper
before.
cables.
No, let me finish. Before the storm, everybody has them in their house. You put batteries and you make sure there's batteries in the
Flashlights.
Yes. Okay. Uh-oh.
Okay. Hi, everybody. So here we go. Trendy, are you ready?
Yes.
Our production crew didn't use the right word, but I'm going to give you a shot at this, right?
Uh-oh.
Listen.
I speak Hanukkah.
In a hurricane last year, we had a lot of this. What happened to a lot of the cars in Kissimmee and downtown Orlando during the hurricane? What happened to them?
They got flooded.
Flooded cars, right?
Flooded cars. Yeah.
All right, you got it?
Flooding cars.
Yeah.
Yes. I told you I speak Hanukkah.
All right, I go now?
Yes.
Am I good or upside down? My
So
producers-
for the audience.
All right. So go.
Okay. It's what you see people doing on the side of the road when they have their
Hitchhiking.
car jacked up and they're doing something to fix something.
Fixing a flat?
Yeah, but also known as...
Changing a tire?
Yeah. What kind of tire?
A car tire.
Is
An
it
aluminum rim.
is it fluffy or is it...
A rubber tire. What do you want me to... A tire's a tire.
What's the condition of the tire?
It's flat.
Yeah.
Changing a flat
There
tire.
you go.
Did I get a point? No.
Splitting hair.
I lose one.
So if we get the concept, it doesn't matter. It has to be the exact phrase.
Oh, no, I get a point. I'm not losing for that.
Yeah.
Because you wrote it wrong. I would have written it differently. All right, go. We're going on a
Road trip.
bingo. I'm bad at that. Ladies and gentlemen, she needs your help, guys. So we're going to dial in. She's going to need to get a friend to help. You know, a lifeline. Ready?
Ready. It's so easy. It's what comes with the Kia warranty.
10-year, 100,000-mile certified power.
But it's what you might need if you're on the side of the road.
Oh, Kia 24-hour roadside assistance.
Roadside assistance. Yay!
So we leave it up to you, ladies and gentlemen. Did I win? Did Trenny win? Or was it a tie? Thanks for joining us on the City Kia show live at City Kia. We'll see you next week. Got some great stuff for you. Thanks. Have a great day.
Whoa, make that switch. Make that switch to City Kia. To City Kia.